to say Happy Canada Day to all my Canadian friends out there. So today we want to show you a video on installing a utility rack on the bed of a truck. There's lots of different kinds out there. I wanted mainly to go with something that didn't make our truck look like a construction vehicle. What I mean by that is a lot of them come with tall uprights. I wanted something short. So we found this company that makes a short upright. The company we chose to go with was Adarac. The mother company is called Adarac. They make tunnel covers, hard ones, roll-up ones. They make a soft cap for pickup trucks that can be rolled up if you need more room, and some other products. But the reason I went with this manufacturer was because I knew for sure that it would work with my hardcover. I really like this hardcover. It's called alloy cover, made by a company, WeatherTech. Really like this cover. It's secure. It's I'm not gonna say watertight, but that could also be because of the way I installed it. So I might have to make some adjustments because I do get a little bit of water in here, but it's a great product. It easily folds. It's a tri-fold, and it weighs about 50 pounds. So once you fold it all up, you can pull it right off, put it in the garage, and you have an open bed to go get large products if you have to. So anyways, back to the rack. So yeah, it works with this cover. I knew it would work with this cover, so I wasn't taking any risks. The other reason I went with this product was affordability. So you were looking anywhere from $650 to $750 Canadian for this product if you go on the internet and take a look around. I did pay a little bit less because of my work. I do get a deal. Now, having said that, I could have gotten a deal on any product out there because we deal with about 6 warehouse distributors that we get our product from for our retail store that we sell through. I chose this product because the quality that I've seen from their other products that they manufacture, and because, like I said, it'll fit with this cover. So having said that, we're going to show you how this all installs. Now again, like I said, I went with this one, and it also comes in black or an aluminum finish. I wanted to go with the black because of the cover. So like I said, the other reason I went with this is because I wanted something short. So this is going to mount to this rail, which I haven't installed yet. I've just laid it here, and it's low. So with this one here and another one there, and you have crossbars, I can now put a ladder on top of here rather than putting it in the bed of the truck, having to leave the cap or the cover open while I'm driving down the highway, possibly losing other products that are in there. The ladder will be on top, going from upright to upright. Of course, if you have a 12-foot ladder or something like that, it's not going to work, but very rarely do I carry a ladder that long. The other reason why I wanted to go with a rack, like I said, we're not construction workers. So I wanted something that I could mount a basket on so I can carry more products when we go camping. I don't know if you've ever seen a basket. I call it a basket. It's a metal basket that fits on the top of vehicles like cars or vans using roof racks, and you can put more products up there. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably run a couple 2x6s from rail to rail, and I could put one of those baskets up there. The other thing I can do is I can attach my solar panels. So now when we're camping, and if we're off grid, so we don't have a power hookup, I could put my solar panels up here facing the sun, and I can turn them around as the sun goes. So that was the idea. So we went with this one. As you can see, it's going to stay low to the cab, whereas the other uprights are about up here. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that you can get taller uprights to fit this rail. It's only 2 bolts. So you can have short, you can have tall, you can have both. You can have the tall one here and the short one here and have 2 levels to place products on, doubling your storage. The other thing is, I want to mention, it's not the short is not really designed for this type of cover. So we'll show later in the video, once this crossbar is installed, you will not be able to lift this cover up. But the nice thing about it is, like I said, 2 bolts. You loosen those 2 bolts, you slide the rail down, you can now access the cover. When you're going to use this, you slide it back to wherever you want, and you keep the cover down. You'll still be able to lift it enough to get anything out. Very seldom do I have to open this all the way, even when we're camping. So there's an option. Okay, so we also want to show you the hardware that is included with this kit. So as you can see, everything is laid out here. There's quite a bit. But once you start putting this together, you're going to see it's very simple. This kind of looks like it's going to get scary, but trust me, I took a quick look at the instructions. That's right, I looked at the instructions, and it's pretty straightforward, and you'll see what it's like in the video. One thing I will mention, and I'll read it off the paper here because I want to make sure I get it all covered. These utility racks are vehicle specific. What they do is they go into this factory stake holes, so they have to be vehicle specific. The hardware is all corrosion resistant anodized aluminum. The stake pocket inserts are all anodized aluminum. And they actually say it's compatible with most inside rail tunnel covers, which is pretty cool. The other thing, and we'll show it later in the video once everything is installed, is these side rails will also allow you to insert accessories. So you can put eyelets in there that you'll be able to use as tie downs even when everything is on. When these uprights are removed, if you're not going to be using them and you don't want to look like a commercial vehicle, you can remove these uprights and the rails will stay on, and you can see they're going to look decent. That one's not installed yet, but it will still look decent. And you'll have the eyelets installed, so you can use those rails as tie-down rails. Double purpose. So, all right, so we're gonna get ready to start doing the install, and let's get it going. All right, so step 1. The hardware that goes into the stake hole. So this is the plate that goes inside, and you can see there's a threaded piece there. That's where the bolt will go into for the rail, okay? These 2 plates here are called alignment plates. You'll put 2 in each stake pocket like that. This is going to fit into the stake pocket and keep everything centered. And then this will be underneath the stake pocket, and the screw or the bolt will come down through the rail into this hole. So the way you get these in and hold them in place, really simple, and I never would have thought of this. You thread this string through the holes. Just like this. And then the other side. So you have this. And now, move that rail. All you do is drop this in and pull it up. Now, you can see here, the alignment plates locate it, and then the bottom plate is keeping it from pulling up. Yes, we're going to tie this together, because if you ever want to remove this down the road, you're going to need this string in place. So once you bolt everything in, this is just going to, the string is just going to drop down in. excuse us while we take this short intermission. So if you have an F-150, this one's particular is a 2011, there's covers on the stake pocket holes. So you just take a flat screwdriver. They're just plastic, so you can just pop them out. The other thing, if you look at the factory bed rail cover, it has ribs on it. So what they send you is a thick foam. This foam is going to go underneath the rail, from the end of the rail to the ridge. So when you tighten this down, it's basically just going to continue this ridge. So you're not bending the ends down. Good idea, never thought about that. Fortunately, it was in the kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the rail where I think it's going to go. I'm covering that stake pocket hole. I'm covering that stake pocket hole. And this rubber is going to go, take a look here, is going to go from the raised area to the end. So I'm going to cut it right here, and I'm going to tape it to the bottom of the bed rail. And I'm going to do 2 of those, one beside the other. So let's do that next. Okay, so to make this a little bit easier on getting the proper length, I flipped the rail over and I've put it where I think I'm going to place the rail. So we're just covering the end of the stake pocket hole here. I've done the same at the front. So now we're going to measure this, and it's going to go from the end to here, to where the ridges are. Take these scissors, make a nice straight cut. And I'm going to do 2 of those. Okay, so we've cut these to the right length. Now we're just going to peel off the tape. Apply this right to the edge. Keep it nice and straight along the edge. Press it on. That's one. Then we do one on the outside edge. Go right to the end. Nice and straight. Press it on. Just to take a look. That's how it'll be on. Now you do the inside edge and the outside edge. This way, when you put the bolt in, you're not twisting it left and right. It'll sit flat on those 2 pieces of foam. And it's not touching the ridges. Perfect. Now we're going to do all 4 corners, and we'll come back. Okay, so we have the foam on all 4 corners, and this is what it should look like. So now what we're going to do, before we put the hardware in to bolt this down, we're going to install what they call rail nuts. Now these rail nuts will slide in, again with this to the outside, and each of these is going to be so that you can bolt the uprights in, which we'll show a little bit later. But we'll get these in. So you need 2 for the front. I'm going to put 2 for the back. But we also have these eyelets. And what these eyelets will do is they're going to bolt in, and now you can use these holes for ratchet straps or bungee cords or anything like that if you're tying something in when you don't have the cover on. So we have to put 2 nuts in for these, because we're going to put 2 of these on each side of the truck. And now we'll put 2 nuts in for the rear upright. They're in. They slide around, so we'll be able to locate them wherever we need to locate them. The next thing we're going to put in are the end pieces. They're going to be easier to put in now. That just slides in, and then there's a little screw with a Phillips screwdriver right on the end there. Plastic, I wasn't pushing hard enough. There we go. Now it's in. That one's in. I'm going to do the same thing on the front. Just flip this so I can see what I'm doing. Take a look there, you can see exactly how this screw is going in. And that's it. Okay, we now have the end caps on, so none of those rail nuts will come out, and it finishes off the product. We're going to put these in place now. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, drop this into the stake hole. We're going to feed these through the slot in the rail. Now, as you can see, I've tied a knot on the end of each of this end of the string here. What that's going to do is when we have the rail in place, the bolt in with a washer, we're going to drop these strings down through the holes so that if you want to remove all this at a later date, you still have the strings to pull up and pull the hardware out. Otherwise, they're going to drop down into your stake hole and they're going to be a pain to get out. There's one string gone. And there's the other string gone. I'm just going to snug up by hand the bolt, and we're going to continue and do the other 3 corners. So one thing I want to show you is, like we mentioned earlier, we tie a knot on the top of the string, and then once everything's in place, we drop the string down inside the stake pocket hole. Problem is, I got one side of the string to go in, this side doesn't want to go in. So what I realized was if you just loosen off this bolt a little bit, give it a little jiggle, the holes in all 3 plates will hopefully line up for you. There we go. And you'll be able to push the string down inside. Just had to get the holes lined up. And then we'll just snug that back up so that nothing falls apart. Okay, so on to the next step, because we have the rails mounted, the bolts are tightened up. As you can see, even if you took the uprights off and the crossbars, you still have 2 rails on there. They're black, so if you look at it from the outside here, they look nice. It's not like they stick out or anything. But even if you don't have the uprights on, because I also purchased these, handy little stool here, we can bolt these. So even though we don't have the uprights on, we still have these that we can move back and forth wherever we want to use as tie downs. So if you had the cover off, or if you had something on top of the cover, you can put 2 of these on each side and run your straps over to hold on whatever it is that you have on here or in the truck. So the next thing we'll go to is the uprights. So on the tailgate here, you'll see, oh, and one other thing, if we're gonna go by the instructions, we've measured the front across and the rear across and made sure they were the same on both sides. So the next step is the uprights. So what you do is you have your upright, which is going to go like this. You have these plates, which go on top. You're going to feed one of these bolts. These will go down from the top, and you can see the square hole there that they'll fit into. And then you'll put a nut on the bottom. Just leave them loose. Repeat. This through the top, and a nut on the bottom. This will now slide into our crossbar. So you're going to pull these apart, and you can see this is going to be the top because it has the rubber seal, and this is where like ladders or 2x4s, whatever, will rest on this. So we'll flip this over, and you'll see the channel here. This plate fits into that channel, and then the arm goes in. I'll snug these up because we still have to locate them once they're mounted to the rails. And that is going to be your upright with the crossbar. So we'll do the other side. I already have it assembled here. This bar is going at the front. So the other thing I ordered was these anchors. So the anchors are the same idea. You put in the rail nuts. I'm going to slide these in before I put the other upright on, because once I do that, I won't be able to get these in. Some of these. And we'll slide that in. Snug those up a little bit. Okay, so what these are going to do is they're going to hang down. So now if I have a ladder going across, I can put a bungee cord through here, wrap it around the ladder, put the bungee cord through there, and it's not going to move. And now we're ready to put that on the truck. Nuts are in there. I'm going to get 2 short bolts. Try and line these up. There's one. To the other side. Of course, stools are always handy. So now what we'll do is we'll just line up this bar so that it's equal overhang on both sides, and then we'll tighten everything up, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we have all 4 corners done. Crossbars are in and snugged up. I still have to go over and tighten everything, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like The only thing we have left to do are the end caps. And what's really cool about these end caps is they actually put a loop on the end. So you can use these too for tying things onto the racks. So again, a rail nut goes in the end. Actually, it might be easier just to do it this way. In, and then we'll just tighten those up, and that's it for the end cap. The tie downs on the sides, like I said, this was an accessory that I ordered. What's really cool about these is if you look on the end here, you'll see right where my finger is pointing, there's a little slot. These actually fit, the plates actually fit right into those slots. So you don't have to worry about them pulling out or bending or anything like that. So that's extra strength. You not only have that large bolt holding it in place, but when you pull this tight, they're sitting in a slot and it'll keep them from twisting. Of course, you can over tighten everything and break everything, but great design idea from these guys. So again, this is the Adarac system. As we mentioned earlier, not designed to be used with the tri-fold covers that are on the market. But like I said, for the amount of time that I have to flip this over, I will simply just lift this, grab what I need, close it back down. Or I will always have a wrench in the truck with me, loosen the 4 bolts, slide this all the way up, slide these all the way up, and then I could use it. But we hardly ever do, so this is going to be more useful than this will be. Designed to be used with a roll-up cover. They actually sell a kit that comes with this and a roll-up cover as one unit, specific for the truck, so that's great. So in the next video, we'll have some 2x6s going from rail to rail. We'll have them screwed into place so that they don't move. And we're gonna try putting our solar panels on there. So when we go camping without electricity, we'll be able to put the solar panels on top of here, out of the way. They're not on the ground, they're not being stepped on. They're not being run over by the dog. They'll be up in a safe area and they'll be tied down or screwed down to those 2x6s. We're also going to try putting a basket up there. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get yet to put up there, but we'll put a basket up there and see how that works too. But like I said, future videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Thanks for your patience, and hopefully we'll talk soon.